Hello, everyone out there. This is Mrs. Atom.
And this is Mr. Atom.
And you're listening to By the By.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
I almost forgot to say that.
See, I usurped you that time.
I know, I wasn't thinking.
You looked a little spaced out, so I thought I would take over.
I am a little spaced out.
Yeah.
It's been a good weekend. It's been a great weekend. Let me rephrase that. It has been a great weekend. We had a lot of fun, lots of some birthday time with a very special lady that, special to us at least.
Well, yes.
Probably special to some of our listeners as well.
Absolutely.
Yes. So
we had a lovely birthday dinner and evening out for her. And
the her we're talking about, by the way, is C over there at Swinging Down Under. She may not want us to tell everybody it's her birthday, but it was her birthday. Happy birthday.
Everybody's got one. Well, at least if you're still with us anyway.
Wow. I mean, even dead people have birthdays.
That's true.
Yep, that's how this show's going to go.
All right, moving on.
Oh, geez.
To the rest of the weekend, beyond that.
Yeah, so Saturday was pretty boring. We didn't do much. But Sunday, today's Sunday, we did some rock climbing. For me, that was a big deal because I'm afraid of heights and really afraid of heights. And there was a few freak out moments halfway up a wall, but that's all right.
But you made it. You survived. You did it.
I know. And
it's impressive.
I'm very proud of myself.
You're facing your fears head on.
Yeah. And now all my muscles are like, fuck you. my arms still feel like jelly. My feet are sore, and it's called old.
But you'll do it again.
I'll do it again. It's still true. I want to be good. I want to be not afraid. So it's been a good weekend.
Yeah. And then we had, we were supposed to have a date anyway, I guess I should say, with a potential manticore. It was a person that we had met previously.
Nice guy.
Yeah, very nice guy. We'd had drinks with him.
Good looking. Yep. He invited us back to his place after our first drinks, and we said no because we don't do that.
Right. And yeah, he was a really nice guy.
On the first date, that is.
Right. Yeah, and we thought there was some rapport there and whatnot, and so we were supposed to have a date with him. And at
7:30 tonight, he was supposed to be at our place. He had our address.
Yep.
He knew how to get a hold of us.
Yep. And he neither showed up nor did he contact us. No, nothing.
No call, no show.
Yeah.
I keep looking at my phone going, and I don't know what I would do if he actually did. He hasn't even read the message. Listen, people. If a better offer comes up, that's fine. I'm okay with that.
We're all adults.
We're all adults here.
Yeah.
We're all, we're a big boys and girls. If a better offer comes along, you just tell me. Admittedly, if you were to say, hey, a better offer came along, you'd probably be burning this bridge. But it's better to light the match and show the person that you're setting the bridge on fire than it is just to no call, no show, ghost them. That fucking pisses me off. I'm not a violent person, but it makes me want to punch him.
Makes you angry.
Makes me angry. It's, but
understandably though, I mean, it's called respect and basic courtesy to let people know, if you're running super late, like a few minutes, fine, I get it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially if you're doing public transport, that's fine. But, if you're, once you get to that 30 minute mark, there should be some kind of contact and if you can't show up if something came up, if you just don't fucking feel like it, just say so.
Yeah, that's totally fine. It's understandable. We all have those moments where you know what? I don't want to cross the bridge. And that's fine.
Or I'm comfy in my jammies in the house and I don't want to go out.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Or it's raining, even though it was a beautiful afternoon and evening. But whatever. It's fine. And I feel like I'm going to rant on this for a little while longer. And I am. So if you want to skip ahead 15, 30 seconds, go ahead. But it's just I'm so upset. It's like, if you're late, what you're telling the people who are waiting on you is that your time is more important than their time and that they really don't matter. That's all you're saying. And that is a horrible thing to say.
It's disrespectful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just, so frustrated. And it's like, they always say a good man is hard to find or a good woman is hard to find. You should try to being a couple looking for a good man or woman. It's like, I'm glad I found you.
I was going to say, single people are really hard because this happens a lot. I mean, it's not like this is a one-off thing. This happens very often that they either won't show up or like to meet with in the very beginning. But like I said, he showed up and he met us the first time.
Yeah, he put in effort, lots of effort. And then he continually communicated with us.
Right.
So that means that he wasn't just trying to ghost us or get rid of us.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really hard to find people who are seriously interested in a couple and will make the effort to show up when they're supposed to. Because it happens quite frequently that we either don't hear back from somebody, that they do ghost us, like, just in general chit chat, or that you set a meeting time or date or whatever, and either don't hear from them ahead of time that, hey, where are we going to meet, or when specifically once the day comes closer, or they just, like this case, just don't show up whatsoever.
And what kills me is this wasn't like, I want to make this very clear, this wasn't a date in which it was like, oh, let's go get some drinks, or oh, let's just sit down and chat. It was a, hey, you want to come to our place and, get down. I mean,
it's a play date.
It was a specified play date.
Yeah.
There was guaranteed sex involved. He had a guaranteed shot with you, which I've posted pictures of you on Twitter. So there's people out there that go, fuck him. Yeah. And it was guaranteed. Like, it was guaranteed.
Well,
and that kills me because I remember many a times that if somebody had said, you are guaranteed a chance to sleep with somebody, and I mean, you're a solid 9, I would have been like a guaranteed on a solid 4.5. I'd been like, awesome, I'm there.
Yeah. Most people don't turn down a solid guaranteed, hey, you're going to have sex with someone. Yes. Yeah. Especially someone that they've been talking to and are interested in from the beginning.
Just depressing.
Yeah.
Ugh. So anyway, in other news, moving on from the cold, depressing stuff, I'm just sort of imagining people, because I know how when people rant about things on podcasts that I listen to and I ignore, I don't want to hear it. I hit the 15 seconds. I'm like, oh no, I want to hear that part backwards 15 seconds. So that's what I'm sort of imagining. That's what I would do to our own podcast. In other news, good news, we have another potential manticore after we've ranted about guys for now coming up on 10 minutes. So new guy that I met and actually have been chatting with him, and I had coffee with him on Friday, I guess.
He's one of those that we have at the moment a busy schedule, and he's got a busy schedule, and all parties involved have holidays scheduled, etc. And so we know that we're not going to get to meet with him as a couple anyway.
Yeah.
For probably another
month.
End of
February.
Yeah, it's going to probably be about another month
between travel dates.
And so Mr. Atom had a chance to meet him for a coffee one day, just during the day, because he, fairly nearby and whatnot. And so he took that opportunity to go meet this new potential manticore, just since it was going to be so long before we can actually meet him together and everything, just to be like, hey, don't
show interest. Yeah. I wanted to show that, again, putting forth effort, which is what all relationships take, people, even friendships, especially pants off friendships. They take effort. You got to work at them. So we both had, 15, 20 minutes to sit down and chat, and it was great. We ended up, sitting around for like 30 minutes and talking. Lovely guy, really nice and intelligent, and
I've only seen him in pictures, but he looks very attractive.
Yeah, he's cute as hell.
Yeah,
and he's sweet, and he's got a good personality, and that's important. Personality.
Yeah. So we'll see in a month, once all of our schedules can make it back together. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah.
And we'll let everyone know if, there's any ghosting or bad things, but hopefully not.
Oh, you better not. I'll just be all depressed and revert to a previous time. I don't know. So that's
but that's a positive, though.
Yeah, it's a positive. We'll close that part on a positive note. I'm really excited by this guy. I don't know. We need a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it would be nice.
It would be really nice to have a consistent guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's exciting. We'll see where that goes. So this episode, this installment, we wanted to talk about numbers.
Numbers are scary.
The numbers are scary, like 8675309.
I thought we were looking for a man, not Jenny.
Well.
I mean, Jenny will work too. I'm not going to turn that down, but.
True.
All right, so numbers. What kind of numbers are we talking about? What kind
of numbers? All right, so we actually wrote some numbers down. We talked about this a bit beforehand, and we wrote a few numbers down as to what we wanted to talk about. And then we've got a few questions that we're actually going to answer, sort of air quotes, live online here.
We're going to surprise each other.
And surprise each other. And we'll see.
And see how we match up.
This is either going to be funny for all of those listening, or they're going to be like, oh, you people are sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Either way. Fuck, I don't care. All right, so the first number is how many partners of the opposite sex have you been with? And for this number, I'm not counting oral sex. I know. I'm doing the Bill Clinton version of sex.
What about with the same sex?
With the same sex, I'm going very similarly. We can, if you want to break it out, I can break it out like on the fly. I know how many I need to add.
Well, I'm just thinking for me, like with the same sex.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, yeah, because
there's
it's very hard to penetrate
right.
two women unless you have a strap on or a
donut.
Right. Okay, you make a very good argument. Yes, that will count, which means that I'll have to amend my numbers.
Okay.
So we'll let you talk first. Is yours the same for opposite sex as well? Are you counting oral only? Do you ever just oral only?
No.
That's my girl.
Nope. I mean, sometimes with you, but not just with a new person.
That's right. But we've had penetrative sex.
Right. Yes. We have. And how?
Okay. God, I need more alcohol or less. I'm not sure.
Oh, probably more.
I do need more. Okay. So the first one we're going to do is opposite sex.
Okay.
So I'll let you do that while I'll add my numbers to mine.
Well, my numbers are, depending on, I'm going to say most of our listeners out there, my numbers are not that impressive compared to many of you.
Depends on what you.
So for me, opposite sex, I have been with 23 guys.
Oh.
Which is not that big of a number.
That's right.
I don't think. But, for some people it is and some people it isn't. Everyone is different. And that's what, in one of those things, in talking to our friends, we've only had numbers discussion with a few of our friends, not many. And it is so incredibly varied between everyone, because it's a matter of, for me, I was married for a very long time. And so, most of my numbers came either in between husbands, because there have been a few, or after the second one, there was a string of a lot of guys. And then, of course, since, we've been together since we're open, then that string has continued, because, we obviously see a lot of people together. So 23 opposite sex for me, which, is, given our lifestyle, it's not that much.
No, but that's impressive. I think that's impressive. Yeah. How many of those can you name? I'm not asking for names.
No, of course
not. But if I said, I'll give you, $1 million if you can give me a name for all of those 23.
I can't name all of them. I can give you names for all but I think around 4.
Oh, that's
There's a few that I don't really remember names.
Well, so then, okay.
Short ones.
How many times, like short in length or short in span or short in time?
Like a 1-time or 2-time thing, yeah.
And that was my next question is, how many of those guys were 1 or 2 night stands, and how many of those were like a full bedroom suite?
5 were 1 or 2 night stands.
Okay. Yeah. That's impressive, though. So that means that 18 of those guys were consistent partners for at least a little while.
For a little while, yeah. And that's the thing is, for me, because, we've talked about this before as well, is that we're sociosexual. Yeah. And so I like to have a connection with someone. And I am fairly picky in who I sleep with. Between the two of us, I'm the pickier one, really.
It's true. I'm a slut.
And I think we've covered that already in the last podcast, perhaps.
Mayhaps. For the record, I don't look at slut as a bad word. There is no slut shaming that goes on in our household, but I think it's a great word, and I use it for us.
It's descriptive,
yeah. Yeah, it's very descriptive.
But yeah, so for me,
and I love love. I'm not a slut. I just love love.
Yes, we know. But yeah, for me, it's most of the people that I've been with, I'm going to say they're repeat customers, and that I like to, I find somebody that I like, and I want to go back. And so yeah, very rarely do I do the 1 or 2 night stand thing.
Well, when you and I even first started hooking up, you had 2 that I know of beyond me. There was maybe at least 1 or 2 one-offs in between there as well. But they're regular. It's I like to, if you've got something that's consistent and good, then keep it up. And that's, the whole hunt for the manticore thing is to have another partner who's consistent. And, it doesn't have to be like, every week or whatever, but at least it would be nice.
Well, yes, it would be. But, to have some kind of consistency. So yeah, most of mine have been repeat customers because I'm not one of those people who just, for the most part, sleeps with somebody and then bye-bye, I'm done with you. Yeah. I don't, that's not my nature.
But you don't let them spend the night.
No, that's true.
So you're a bit bye-bye, I'm done with you, but you're like, come back later.
Yeah.
Yeah, the business is closed.
Yeah. I don't want to sleep with somebody that I'm not emotionally attached to. Which
that's
I understand.
That's a whole other story with us.
But I understand, and it's weird because there's the whole sociosexual thing, but yet I don't want to be emotionally invested. And it's, it's one thing to like someone for who they are, what they can give you, whatever, and to be friends with them, but then something else, I don't know, that sleeping over thing to me that's a level of commitment I don't generally want with just sex partners. Even if I'm friends with you, I can, love you a lot, but at least sleep in the other room.
That's great. Which was hard when you had a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah. But I had a big couch that, you actually was about the size of a bed.
That's true. That's true.
It was
I would have loved to have blacklighted that couch.
No, yeah. That's probably good we gave it away to somebody else before we moved.
We gave it to your ex-husband.
No, we didn't.
Didn't we?
We gave it.
Oh, no, we sold it.
Oh, I forgot to add them to the list.
I forgot to add them as well. That's awesome.
Yep. So we gave it to another couple that we had been. So make that 24 of the opposite sex.
I need to add one to mine as well.
And that means I need to add one more to the ladies as well. Okay, so you, opposite sex. What are yours?
So me, opposite sex. So for me, if we're not doing the Bill Clinton version of sex, so we're including oral as well. Do you want me to? Should I
No, I just realized I forgot one other. So, okay, we're going to go 25. Sorry. Anyway, continue on. Sorry.
I feel like we need a little counter over here.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm curious as to the people you forget, because that's actually worse, I think.
Well, there was one that was right before we moved, shortly before we moved.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, he was...
Sweet guy.
He was a very sweet guy, yes. But that was the one that I forgot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Poor guy. So my total number is 10.
Opposite sex.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of experience. In fact, I can say with absolute certainty until I was 32, I had only been with one woman.
But you also were married for a very long time. So again,
true.
That's the same kind of principle.
That's true. Well, let's go back to both of us, I reckon. What age did you lose your virginity to the opposite sex?
I was 17.
Okay.
17 or 16? 17.
And I was 21, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Maybe 22, but I'm pretty sure I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
So that means in the first 10 years of sex, I was sleeping with the same person.
Of the opposite sex.
Of the opposite sex. Yeah. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Actually, I guess it was for the first 12 years, so that means until I was 34.
But this also, and we'll
scary.
touch on this.
I'm 38, by the way, now, folks. I'm not ashamed.
And we'll touch on this now going into the same sex, is that, it also will come to light very shortly. We'll let you go first on same sex. As your numbers of the opposite sex are lower than your numbers of same sex because you're higher on the Kinsey scale.
Oh, yeah. I'm less interested in women.
Yeah.
I mean, women are great. Don't get me wrong. They're beautiful creatures. And I love breasts. Oh, breasts are fantastic. It's like Disney World. It's the happiest place on earth. I'm a definite boob guy. And I like oral sex on a woman. I love cunnilingus. Love going down on a woman. I think it's fantastic. But once it comes to sex, I'm like,
Yeah.
It's like, I don't,
Yeah.
I mean.
You're much closer to a
I like
high
it, but
4 or 5 on Kinsey.
Yeah, I like it, but I just don't. It's not like something like except with you. You're the anomaly with that. It's like
me.
I know, right? I actually am like fantasize about like, oh, I can't wait till she comes home and we can have sex. And it was like, yeah, it's great. Which is I still not sure I completely understand that, but I feel like we need therapy or something on that.
Just psychoanalyzation?
Yeah.
If that's a word, I don't really even know that's a word. But
psychoanalyze the shit out of that.
Okay, yeah. So what is your number of the same sex?
Same sex. All right, so I'm going to have to be honest. I had to guesstimate. Because I have no earthly clue what the actual number is. In fact, the actual number might scare me because I feel like when I'm guesstimating low. I'll explain this. So, my first same-sex experience was 18. It was just oral, non-penetrative sex. So I decided, since we were talking about including oral, I'll include oral in this number.
Okay.
So, because I would say most of the time it would be oral, occasionally penetrative sex. So the number I came up with is somewhere between 130 and 150. Not exactly sure where. The way I came about that is I had a job for a long time in the States where I traveled extensively. So I was almost always on the road. And I guesstimated that I had one new guy a month for the entire time that I had that job.
That seems slow.
I agree. But
because I know when we were dating and you were traveling, you would often meet 1 or 2 people a week.
That's true.
Did you have repeat customers in some cities?
In some, yes. Okay. Very rarely, though. I don't know. My issue is, this is my issue, is I look at it.
It's better to guesstimate low.
Well, I look at it and I say, okay, so I did that job for 8 years. Let's say I had one different person a month. Because I did have, like, where we were living, I had the same guys consistently. So when I was there, I had the same guys. And there was a couple of cities in which I had guys that were my guys. But even then, sometimes I would pick up a new guy in that city. But I did 8 times 12, thinking one a month, and that's 96. And then I know that I can come up with more guys. Honestly, realistically, the number is probably closer to 200. Probably.
It's a lot.
I don't know. It's a lot. And it's funny because part of me wants to feel bad about that. Well, let me rephrase that. Part of me feels like I should feel bad about that because that's a scary number. And part of me is actually sort of embarrassed to say it and let the world hear it.
Well, and for you, yeah, so you're a mixture of the 1 or 2 times and then repeats. Yeah, you're a pretty good mixture there.
I would say most of my guys are one time only. I have a few guys, like when we lived in, not we, but when my first wife and myself lived in Tennessee, I had a guy that I saw probably every other week for a very long time. He was a regular. Admittedly, he ended up being a condom off guy for a very long time. I know, right? Did you even know that?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, that's scary. Kind of surprising.
Yeah. But yeah, so I would say for probably 3 years, he was a pretty consistent guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. But that's why I get tested.
Exactly. Yes. Regular testing is important.
Regular testing. That's important, folks.
Safety first.
Yeah, so that's my number. I feel like it's high. It's funny because I remember seeing a thing on Twitter just the other day that said, I recently learned that the average person has 8 sexual partners in their lifetime. And then space. In other news, I also recently learned that I am a slut. I thought to myself, I need that on a t-shirt.
That's awesome. Yep. And so for me, of the same sex, my number is 10.
10.
Yeah.
Is it the same 10 that I had on the opposite sex?
No. I mean, some of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them are. Some of them are not.
Did you hook up with my ex-wife?
No, I did not. That would just be a little creepy. I don't know.
Just really, would it?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't hook up with either of your ex-husbands. I don't know. The first one wasn't bad. He's a nice guy, at least. The second one.
Yeah.
I'd do anything for love, but I won't do that.
Yeah, so my same sex is 10, and admittedly, maybe not half, maybe a third of them are still current regular playmates.
I would agree with that, yeah.
Which is nice. Again, I like to have that relationship with people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have, we don't have to see each other every week or whatever, but just, regular contact and when we can, when schedules allow, because we all have our separate lives. Everyone's busy. But I like that consistency. I don't know. There's something about having the rapport with someone that just makes it that much more intense.
Well, yeah, it's funny, what you just said. So there's many people who, are one and done kind of people. Mm-hmm. And the first time you have sex with somebody, I'm not going to say it's terrible, but it's not as good as the second or third time because you start to learn people and you start to figure out, what they like and what, what you like. Yeah, the first time is always a bit awkward.
A little bumbly and
bumbly.
Do you like this? Do you like that? Yeah. And again, communication is key.
Yeah.
Because then you can find out what they like, but then the next time you may not have to ask so much, or you could be like, oh, they like this. Let me try something a little, go a little further, or So yeah.
So 10.
Mm-hmm. I can name all of those. I've no woman has been. I don't think anyone has. Though there's been a couple one times on there, but not many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
most of mine are repeat customers.
And you're on the hunt for new women. So she's on now her.
Mm-hmm.
You're on now her.
Well, I've just started. I haven't even fully set up my profile yet.
Okay.
But yeah, that'll be coming up. That we'll see if we can find someone to, or at least for me to play with.
I think you need a
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need a regular girl you can.
Not too girly though.
No, not too girly.
I don't like too girly. I like girly,
but not
I'm pretty
fucking girly.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. So all right, so 10.
Yeah. There you have it.
That's like 7% of my same sex. I see that, or like 5% actually of probably my actual same sex. I feel guilty. I think that's fucking Catholic guilt. Thank you.
I was gonna say, why do you feel guilty?
I think it's Catholic guilt. I don't know. I still when we get together with our regular partners, I still have that guilt of, oh, you're not supposed to do this.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is, or not necessarily it's wrong, but something very kin to that.
Just because you grew up in a society that says you're not supposed to do this, you're supposed to be monogamous, get married, and one partner for life, and
and that's where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You're allowed to cheat on that partner, but you have to cheat on that partner with a single mistress.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's interesting.
Or paramour. I don't know.
Okay. I did not grow up with that one. Mine was the monogamy one partner for life thing. There was no cheating allowed.
It wasn't like verboten. You had to cheat. But if you were going to cheat, it needed to be with one person.
And you had to make an effort to hide it at least?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's decorum.
Right.
Okay. Moving on. Let's do a fun one.
All right.
I think it's your turn to go first.
Okay.
Which is apropos because the next one is... Anyway, most number of people at one time.
The most number of people I've been with at once, there were 8 of us total.
All right, so 6 others. 7 others.
7 others.
Yeah.
So you were there.
I was there.
So, yeah, you were there. So it was the 2 of us and 6 other people.
Yeah, 3 other couples.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was also coincidentally the first time that I learned just how many people you can fit in a king-size bed.
True, yeah. I don't think we could have fit many other people in there. Everybody had a quadrant. Every couple had a quadrant.
Yeah.
Each of us had an eighth.
And then
some of us were on top of others, so I guess that helped as well.
And of course, there was, switching up and whatnot. It wasn't just paired off and then that's it for the rest of the night. There's a lot of switching off.
Take one down and pass them around.
Awesome. Yes. Fantastic.
It was kind of awesome. Yeah. That was fun. Coincidentally, that is also my most number of people at once is 8.
Yes.
That
was a fun
such
evening.
a Deer Penthouse evening. I mean, it really was. The whole evening was a Deer Penthouse evening. But 8 people.
Yep.
We, that was that a double penetration? Not for you, but did we see that?
Yes, there was.
I think
one
we ended up seeing
of the ladies did. Yes.
So it ended up being a triple penetration because I think she was.
Was she going down on someone?
I think so.
I don't recall that.
I don't recall either. It was really.
It was very late.
It was very
early.
late and a lot of alcohol and a lot of that euphoric forgetfulness that I have. Because when I get really excited, I'm like, oh, and I forget.
Oh, look a bunny!
Yeah. Oh, look a bunny.
Yeah.
But yeah, though it was.
If you had asked me before that, could you fit 8 people in a bed, even a king size bed, I would have been a little questionable. But no, it's very easy to. And we could probably even do more. I don't know. We haven't had that chance yet.
I think we should try to bump it up to 10 next time.
We can try that. We can start with 9 if we want to like baby step it, or we just jump right in.
Or we can add a pregnant lady and be like 8.5.
Yeah, we could do that.
Because before the 8 people, the most that we had been in a bed with was 6.5.
Yes, one was pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah, very pregnant. That was hot. Pregnant women are hot.
Yes.
That pregnant women are. Oh,
she's also pretty hot. Not
I may have
pregnant,
forgotten to add her.
Oh, I did too.
Fucking A.
Crap.
All right, so
and her husband as well. So yes, both of them.
So that puts me at 11. You at
26 guys and 11 females.
Yeah. So I feel like we should do a recap at the end of this now because we keep fucking adding people.
I know. That's why
I feel bad that I forget people, but.
Well, I needed some heads up to think about this and make sure I could get everyone.
Well, talking about it makes it easier as well.
Yeah, it does, actually.
So that puts my women at 11 and my same sex at, I don't know, somewhere between 200 and, I don't know, 1,400.
Add one more, I don't
know. At that point, unless you're adding 10 to my number, it doesn't really change it.
Yeah.
So that was a fun. Both of those are fun nights.
Yeah.
Pregnant women are hot. I don't care what anybody out there says. Like the ideal, 7-8 months pregnant. They're beautiful and they're tight and they're tight like their muscles in their skin.
Like the belly, everything's
It's beautiful, beautiful women. Whew.
And that was interesting for me.
Moment.
That was the first pregnant lady that I had been with. And I thought it was interesting because, people always say, oh, you don't go up to a pregnant woman and rub her belly. But then I'm like, but I want to rub your belly. Is that okay? I mean, if it's a different situation, clearly, because you're in bed with them.
Yeah.
But still, I'm like, can I rub it? Can I not? And she was very much, yes.
Yeah.
She enjoyed it. And
I still felt kind of awkward about it because, that stigma that don't touch my belly.
Right. And even though she was like, yes, I enjoy it, it was still very much, I don't know, should I?
It's not like I was having sex with her and I'm like rubbing her belly at the same time because that is kind of gross. But I don't know, the naked form is so attractive and
the female form is beautiful.
Well, I'm going to say in general, all naked forms are beautiful.
Guys are too.
Even the people that you're like, wow, you are not attractive. There's an inherent beauty about nudity. This free beauty. I don't know.
It's very freeing.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be comfortable enough in your own skin to be naked in front of other people.
Absolutely. I respect people like that higher than many others. I don't know. So, okay. That was the most number of people at one time. Now for the most number of people in a 24-hour period. Mm-hmm. So my number, I thought I knew what my number was. Now I'm starting to wonder if I was maybe wrong. It's somewhere between 10 and 12.
Okay.
It was, I know that I had gone to a sauna in that time. Mm-hmm. It wasn't this past time, but it was one of the previous times that I went to a sauna, like before you and I were even together. And it was like 6 people or 8 people there, and then I don't know, one thing led to another, and it was like 2 other people, and then
just people everywhere.
It was just people everywhere, and then by the time I got back to my hotel room, I was like, well, I'll just see who's on Grindr.
As you do.
And it just so happened that there happened to be somebody like on the floor above my hotel, the floor above me in my hotel room, and
I love it.
Really cute, and so so that was that. And coincidentally, that I feel like I'm a bad person when I say these things, because I was actually also still married at the time, and my partner at the time had no idea, and I'm pretty sure I had sex with her as well. So 1 girl, 9 or 11 guys.
There you go. That's
that
rather
makes me a bad
impressive.
person. I don't fucking care. I'm going to hell already.
I think it's rather impressive. You need to stop with the guilt thing.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of people out there that would be like, you are a bad person.
Well, then they shouldn't be listening to us.
All right. If you think I'm a bad person, please stop listening to us. but still write a good review.
Please don't stop listening to us. No. So for me, the in a 24-hour period was still the 8 that night.
Okay.
Because then there were no new people the next day or anything, or even earlier that day.
Did you actually have penetrative sex with all 4 guys? I know you had oral sex with everybody.
No, one guy did not penetrate.
Okay. I was just curious.
No, you're right. Because, he was...
Ooh, I just thought of a new question.
Yeah?
This is like off the top of my head, but go ahead. Finish.
No, that was all just the one guy didn't.
How many people have you had sex with without condoms, without protection? I say condoms, not birth. Of course, birth control, of course.
Yeah.
But like with no condoms. I'm going to try to think about it. We're going to pause for like...
So for me, I can tell you that the only 3 that I've had sex with without a condom, males, it would have been my husband. So 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're the only ones that I have not used a condom.
Can I call you out on something on air?
Okay.
Like our first time.
Yeah.
We started out without a condom.
Yeah.
And then I basically pushed you off of me and was like, holy shit, this is bad. This is how you get diseases. That's what I thought, because it was our first time, and that's a story. But we'll save that to another story, because that's such a great story. Anyway.
Yeah, but there was something...
But yeah.
And admittedly, that was a very odd thing.
So you never did that with anybody else?
No.
So only your first 2 husbands?
Yes.
And then me?
Yes.
Who was basically a random guy?
Yeah. But there was something different about you, and it was one of I know that sounds cheesy. No, I know that sounds cheesy, but it's true. There was something different, and it was just I don't know. It was just it was very different, and it felt right, and we then did use condoms for what it's worth for a little bit, but then
we did.
Until we were serious.
Yeah, I'd say about 6 weeks we used condoms.
I would have said even longer than that.
Maybe okay, yeah.
Till we got a little more serious, but it was just, actually no, we used condoms.
You're right. It was like 6 months.
It was like 6 months. Yeah.
Because I was at that point, I thought to myself, I should buy stock in
Trojan
lifestyle.
or somebody. Yeah. Whoever. Yeah. No, we used condoms for a very long time till we became exclusive, quote unquote. Yeah. And with other people, we obviously used protection.
Because I remember it now that we went through a box of condoms, which at the time, which was like 10 condoms. Mm-hmm. We went through that in like 5 or 6 days.
Oh, easy.
I bought it on a Monday, and I needed more for the weekend.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this girl is awesome.
Yeah. No, it was, but so even though that did happen, I mean, again, we weren't married at the time that we didn't have sex without a condom, but no, the only 3 people I've ever slept with, without a condom, it were the 3 guys I ended up being married to, yeah.
So mine's 3 as well. Mine's 4. 4, yeah. So, first wife, 2 guys in between, and then you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. What do you know? That's just a random question that popped into my head. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask this shit.
Yeah.
All right. So let's look at now.
Moving on with the numbers.
Moving on with the numbers. We have a number. So what we're going to do now is we're going to ask a question, write it down.
All right. And then show each other. That's going to be scary.
So, and we've got 4 questions.
Okay.
Let's see if I can actually pause this for a second. That's awesome. So, yeah, she just asked me if I was going to edit out let me see if I can pause this. I'm not going to.
Yeah, it's all right. All right, so we have 4 questions. Apparently, I've divided my page into quadrants.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to do that as well. That's a genius question. Or genius point. All right.
I'm very smart.
Doing like a plus. But I'm going to ask the questions, then we'll do it, show each other. Okay. So the first question has to do with masturbation.
Okay.
The first question is, how many times do you think your partner masturbates in a week?
I need to clarify this. Are we talking a true average, so times when you're on the road and off the road at home, or are we going to look at like only when you're at home or only when you're away?
Oh, you're killing me.
Sorry, I'm a classic overthinker.
I didn't think that far. Let's just do it on average.
On average, okay.
On average total.
Okay.
So the top left, so I've got my page is divided in top left, top right. So the top left is how many times do you think your partner masturbates in a week?
Yeah.
And then the top right is how many times do they actually masturbate?
Okay.
And
how many do I do?
How many do you actually do it? Yeah.
Okay.
So
alrighty, let's see what I can come up with here.
All right. So in a week
for you.
All right, and then I'm gonna. All right. So let's see. And for me, how many times do I actually masturbate?
All right.
We're going to say...
Ready?
No, I've got one more number here. Okay. So, all right. How many times do you think that I masturbate in a week?
I have 9.
Okay. And how many times do I think that you masturbate in a week? I have 7.
Awesome.
So we're pretty fucking close on that.
Yeah.
And then what's the actual truth?
For me, it's 6.
And for me, it's 10.
So I am 6. You thought I was 7.
Yeah.
You are 10. I thought you were 9.
Yeah.
We're pretty freaking close.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, I expected a lot more drama.
Sorry, we apparently
know
each other that
we know
well.
each other pretty fucking well. Yeah. So, do you masturbate in the shower?
Oh, a lot of times, yeah.
Okay, is that when? So, we wake up in the morning, and by I say we wake up, your alarm goes off, and then I feel a hand come over, and it like gropes me, and I'm like, leave me alone, I'm trying to sleep. And you almost always, and I will say this is 90% of the time, you give up about 3 minutes before I'd be like, all right, let's do it. And then you get up and go masturbate in the shower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Truth be told, I'm almost always masturbating while you're in the shower. Oh, I wish I could take a picture of your face. That's great. Your expression is great. It's like you had the total, what the fuck? That was your expression.
Well, because, we have morning sex a lot.
Yeah.
But then there are those days where you're just like dead to the world.
Yeah, and you get in the shower, and by that point, you've woken me up enough.
Dead to the world enough?
You wake me up as soon as that water comes on. I'm awake.
So what I need to do is, I need to go turn the water on in the shower, then come back to bed.
And then run back and check and see.
Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn the water on in the shower, and if your eyes are open or if you're moving at all,
you're going to pounce on me like.
Yes, I'm going to turn the water off in the shower to save the hot water because we don't have that much hot water. So yes.
That's awesome. Fantastic.
Fantastic? I don't think so. No, I disagree with that.
I don't know, because I usually masturbate and then I'm back asleep by the time you're out of the shower.
But we could have sex and then you could still be back asleep by the time I'm out of the shower.
And that's probably true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like usually like 3 minutes because you get up and you go and get tea or whatever, and then you go in the shower. I don't know what happens because I'm usually asleep. But then the water comes on.
No, you're usually masturbating.
The water comes on, and I'm like, what is this erection doing? All right, well, I'll take care of that.
So apparently all we need to do to give you an erection is run some water? Turn the shower on?
Is that
a Pavlovian response?
I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe it's a morning Pavlovian response.
It's a morning Pavlovian response. I don't know. But that would make no sense.
No, it wouldn't.
So now, moving on, we have 2 more spots.
Okay.
We're going to do this a bit differently because I realize that the next question can't be divided into 2. Because the next question is, how often do you think that we have sex?
Right.
How many times in an average week do we have sex? And then the last question, which is a complete surprise to you, is going to be, how long do you think we have sex? Starting from...
On average.
Yeah, from the first touch until let's be realistic, until I orgasm, because you come like 5 to 10 times, because I could look at you hard and you orgasm right now. So how often do you think we have sex? I'm going to think about this for a second. Number of days in a week times pi chi-r squared. All right.
Can you do that math?
And then how long is our normal average sex session? Because we're not going to talk about that one time we did it for 48 hours straight. We're going to ignore the time that it took me 0.2 seconds, because that was the first time.
Yeah.
Dude, the first time you popped on, I was like, "Oh, get off me, because I need a condom for desensitization."
Desensitization?
What she
or
said.
whatever that word is. Yeah,
that one.
Yeah. I honestly have no idea on the average, because there's... That's a hard one.
I had a number, at least. We'll see.
I have a number, but I don't think it's even close.
All right, so how many times in an average week do you think we have sex?
I said 9.1 because I was averaging travel weeks and non-travel weeks. Again, I overanalyze everything.
9.1. You came up with a 0.1. What do we do that 0.1 at a time?
Because I was thinking that when we're both in town, it's probably more like 11.7, and when one of us is out of town, it's probably more like 7.4.
11.7.
But we're going averages here, so it's never going to be a whole number. Rarely.
Okay, I can accept that.
Okay, we'll say 9. How about that? Maybe that make you happy? 9.
I can accept that, but 9.1, I'm trying to think of what 0.1 sex is. This is sort of like that, the average number of children in the States is 2.3, 2.5.
No, it just means that 10
like
weeks you have sex 9 times, and 1 week you have sex 10 times.
Fine. I said 12.
Okay.
Do you think it's less than that?
Well, I was just saying, it's because I took the average. But it's because I took the average of if one of us is out of town for the entire week, 5 days, then we make up for it on the weekends, and that's probably like 3 or 4 times a day. But that's not entirely realistic, because you're right, neither of us travels 5 days out of the week anymore. When we were in the States, you did a lot, but here we don't. So yeah, you're probably right, it is more. Yeah.
I'm so glad I have that recorded.
That you're right?
I know. I just had chills.
Ooh. I just made your evening.
Not yet. You're going to make it later.
So yes, you're right. It probably is more, because
I would have accepted like 11.
Yeah.
11 to 15.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still newlyweds.
I would say, especially if one of us has traveled, we make up for it and then some upon return and before leaving. And
yeah, it's true.
We just like sex.
So our average time length in minutes and seconds.
I don't know.
So I said 7 minutes, 15 seconds.
See, I went more towards the 15-minute mark.
Whoa, 15 minutes. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
No, but you have to think about like all the sessions on the S and, those times.
For those who don't know what an S is, liberator.com. ESSE. It's a sex chase.
Yes.
OIFA. If you live in the States, you should have already ordered one after we talked about it.
Yep, they're out of Atlanta, I believe.
Out of Atlanta. Yeah. Wonderful company.
Fantastic
furniture.
So that's why I was averaging all of those times. And then there's times with other partners and things which go on for a lot longer.
Yeah, I was just looking at you and me. I mean, that's true. Okay. But because I think about the mornings, it's a hop on, hop off.
True.
And then the evenings, it's a let's take it slow.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I was adding in, all the times on the S, and a lot of that tends to be more sometimes nighttime play, but more weekend play and whatnot. Yeah. And those can go for quite a while. So
I feel like we should set a stopwatch tonight just to see how long it is.
I think we should just, set a stopwatch for like a week. And that way we get a true average.
And we can actually average out.
Yeah,
we should totally do that.
Yeah.
Nerds of the world unite.
We're way overthinking this.
We are, and I'm totally for it. I think it's a great idea. Let's do it. All right. So there you go. That's, that was all the numbers questions I had. Do you have any numbers questions that came up while we were talking?
No.
No?
No, I think we've covered a lot of good numbers.
Did? Do you want to do our question of the week? Do you have one, or do you want me to throw out one?
Well,
I've got one I could use, but if you've got one, let's do it.
Let me think for a minute.
Ooh, she's thinking for a minute. Let me just say, she looks delicious tonight. She's got this wonderful low-cut halter top on and I think it's a skirt that she keeps crossing her legs seductively. I'm sitting on the floor beneath her, so it's... Ooh.
Well, that's because we were supposed to have a date this evening.
Don't say it's for me. That's all right.
I'd get prettied up for you, but this top in particular is
Did you see that, folks? Got prettied up for him, and he didn't even show.
Yeah.
Fucking pisses me off.
Say, this top is not one that I typically wear around the house, just when it's us. So, yeah. Yep. Didn't even show.
I'll tell you.
It's all right.
So do you have your question, or do you have a question?
If you've got a good one that goes along with numbers, then...
I don't.
Oh. No. I don't have a good one that goes along with numbers.
I don't either. So if you want ask your question. If not, I'll ask mine.
Well, I do have a question that kind of goes back to something we did touch on earlier.
Okay.
Because we were talking about, I don't let people... Well, when I was single, I generally didn't let people stay the night.
That's right.
And since we've been together...
I did, actually. Just as a side note, I had... in the time after my ex-wife moved out and you moved in, I had 3 guys spend the night.
Yeah.
It was just
Convenient.
convenient.
It's happened, right. Yeah, and so for me, I generally didn't, once we were done, then you go to your house.
Yeah, we have a different sort of attitude towards it as well, because you were very closed off.
Yes.
And I'm very optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can put it that way.
But since we've been together, there's only, I think, one person that I can think of that has stayed the night with us, and that was our previous, still current male partner, but we just don't see him as often anymore.
We just don't see him, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Blue Steel. You hear us, Blue Steel?
Yes.
We still think about you.
Yes.
Steely. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Staying in our bed. So the question, though, is that, and you may have sort of answered this already, but if a partner were to stay the night, does it make a difference to you if that partner is male or female?
Oh, that's a good question.
Would you let one sex and not the other? Neither, both? Does it matter?
Okay. For me, honestly, I want to say it doesn't matter. However, it seems more likely that a male would spend the night with us than a female, only because we have never had the male, female, female. We've done the male, female.
It's true.
Many times. And every time that happened, or I should say many of the times that's happened, he stayed the night. Because it's Blue Steel.
Right.
And so I wouldn't be against a lady spending the night, not at all, as long as I'm not in the middle. I don't like sleeping in the middle. It makes me feel a bit claustrophobic. So, when Blue Steel would spend the night, you would sleep in the middle.
Yeah.
And when, in fact, I wouldn't mind being, cuddled up against him. If he was in the middle, that'd be fine as well. But I can't be in the middle.
Right.
I get so hot, and I feel like I'm suffocating.
And I'm cold, so I like to be in the middle.
Yeah. So you get the heat off of both of us, and he's a hot sleeper.
He runs
as well.
hot, yeah.
He runs really temperature hot. He's hot as well.
I was going to say, yeah.
In the bedroom. We miss you, Blue Steel. No, but I don't think it would matter. I don't know, though. Admittedly, I really don't know.
Have you had a female stay the night?
Never.
Ever? Even a single? No? Okay.
No. So, first wife, of course. And then, even some of the randoms, they, in one case, it was someone who we were staying in the same hotel on the same floor, and she went back to her room. She just didn't stay, and that's cool.
That makes more sense because it is a random. It seems like somebody that would stay the night would be probably a repeat customer.
I didn't want her to be a random. I wanted her to be a repeat.
Okay.
But
didn't work out.
It just didn't work out. But she was a one time. Well, boy, let me tell you, as a side note, that's hard on the self-esteem. Anyway, but yeah, so how about you?
Well, clearly we've already covered that I generally don't like people to stay the night. And it is admittedly a little different now that we're together, but when I was single, that was a pretty hard and fast rule with me.
Was it a safety thing, or was it just you were trying to protect yourself?
That's a good question. I would say a little bit was probably a safety thing, especially with somebody I didn't know as well.
Right. But you had a few guys that were regular guys.
Yeah, but still, I'm very distrusting of people. I'm very distrusting.
I'm trying to... So the first time that I spent the night with you, I was going to the airport the next morning, and it was close, and you're a very rational person. So I said... Actually, you said, why don't you just spend the night, bring your stuff, you can leave later to go to the airport.
Because I lived, honestly, 5 minutes from the airport, and you lived 20 minutes, and you were flying out at 6 a.m., which is a stupid hour to get up and go to the airport.
True that.
So, 15 minutes makes a difference at that hour in the morning.
Yeah.
And yes, I am a very rational person, but also very distrusting. So some of it is very likely a safety thing, especially when I was, single. But also I think it's probably also a bit of an emotional protection thing. And that even though I may not get close to someone, I don't want to run the risk that someone would want to get close to me or would think more of our relationship because they stayed the night.
Okay.
Because a lot of people think that, it's a little more serious if you do stay the night. And it's not just girls, people listening out there, a lot of guys do that too. And I just...
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, and I just don't... it was one of those, I wanted to keep things on a very, this is not a permanent relationship kind of thing, while we're playing and it's a, recurring thing. It's not I didn't want that emotional bond.
Okay.
But now I am okay with it. On the odd occasion. And again, I am a very rational person. So we've got friends, we've stayed at their place, but they live a bit away.
Yeah.
And it makes sense.
They're an hour out almost. Yeah.
Almost. And so, if we've, especially if we've been drinking and whatnot, then it makes a lot more sense.
Well, that's the other thing is if we all get together and we're drinking. But we also don't
stay in their bed. So that's different. And I guess I'm thinking more of a partner staying in bed with you. You can go to the other room, sleep in the spare room. That's no problem. But for someone sleeping in the same bed with me, at this point, I don't think I would care as much. But even when
depending on the sex, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Not anymore. When I was single, though, there were some girls who stayed over, even just female friends. And I was way more comfortable with a female staying the night than I was with a guy at that point.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of yours, though, is emotional protection and not physical protection. Because there's few people who could, you kill a guy. You'd kill anyway. But I will say, if we did have a situation where a lady wanted to spend the night, I would be more than happy to sleep on the couch. I mean, for her safety or for her whatever.
Right.
I'd be happy to sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
I want that female-male relationship at least once.
Yeah.
Probably just to knock it off my bucket list because admittedly
I'm not as...
Yeah, I'm not as interested in women.
We'll find one at some point.
Whatever.
They're hard to pin down, but we'll find one.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So that's all I've got. Is that all you got?
That's all I've got.
Yeah. As always, we want your questions out there. Twitterverse, emailverse, podcastverse. Ask us questions that we can ask ourselves because I actually like this. It's fun to talk about
the questions at the end.
Yeah, the questions at the end. I think it's my favorite part.
I'd be curious to know what the listeners have as well, question wise, and what they want to know, and what are they curious about? Because it's we think some things might or might not be interesting, but I'm always keen to hear what other people think is interesting. Because
and we have a few loyal listeners that. We actually talk to because they're our friends, and I'm pretty sure they're only loyal listeners because they're our friends. But we have them and. But we would love to have questions that we can ask each other because I feel closer to you after having these questions. So if
we clearly learn things about ourselves.
Clearly, things you want to know and things you don't want to know. I guess I don't know. Information is good. All information is good. There's no bad information. If you want to contact us, you can find us on the Twitterverse at the Atoms of Love, TheAtoms. I'm going to have to record this so that I don't have to say this every time. OFLOVE, the Atoms of Love. You can email us at theatomsoflove@gmail.com. or we're not going to do a Facebook page because that's silly. Or you can find us on the website at www.buy, B-Y, the buy. Wait.
BYTHEBI.
Is it that way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buythebuy.com.
Yeah. Buythebuy.com.au. Fuck, I don't know. Check out the little information thing that's on your it's on your podcast. It'll tell you where to find us. I'd love to say I know I don't. Admittedly, I apologize in advance for all ice against glasses that you heard in this episode because I was drinking a lot of bourbon. And
somebody was a little angry?
I was angry. I was still angry, actually. But I like ice in my bourbon, and so, yeah. And, if you have questions, please send them forward, and we'd love to hear them. And because it seems apropos to do at this point, Max Black, go to Max Black, buy stuff from them. Tell them the people at Buy the Buy, the Atoms of Love, sent you. I love that place.
We almost made a Max Black run the other day.
We almost made a Max Black run today. And if that fucker had said in the beginning that I'm not showing up, we would have gone to Max Black.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anyway.
He screwed up our Max Black time.
One more strike against him. All right, folks. Thanks for stopping by. We love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.
And we're out.